Hello and welcome back. We're continuing my health journey. Fun times. So the last video was basically everything leading up to me figuring out I had MALS. So, like all of my symptoms, kind of like that whole story. And not all of it was completely MALS related because I have a bunch of other shit. So we're gonna get into what happened at the MALS specialist. Let's get into it because it's not a fun time. Okay, so first off, I get to the hospital, right? We travel, get there. So I go, I get blood work, a CT, right? Normal. No. I'm allergic to CT contrast or IV contrast, whatever. So I have an allergic reaction. Having so much fun, right? This is important for later, but so much fun, right? Okay, I go and see the specialist and we're like talking to him. I have a classic case of MALS, he says. So I don't have compression that's like a lack of, compression is lack of blood flow, but I don't have like, I have enough blood getting through to my organs, but I have a classic case, right? So the next thing you do when one of the diagnostic tests they do is a celiac plexus block. So okay, this is really like stressful. This is all very traumatic. I want to make it very clear throughout this that what happened with me with the celiac plexus block was not their fault. It also is not the common experience. What happened to me was really weird. So I go there. So first I see a doctor. He was shit. No, you can't make noise. Thank you. Okay. Evil doctor that checked us in. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him. Whole thing. Just, I was very stressed. So then I get there, and he had told me that I had to have the contrast I was allergic to because celiac plexus blocks are CT guided. I don't understand that. Right? So that is not the case, but I get there and I'm really stressed. And I'm just like not having a fun time. So it took a long time to figure it out with the doctors, but I had a fine time. I have been told since then that I was very stressed and they would think that it would be hard for me to do another one, which we'll get to in a minute. But for me, because of the meds, I was chilling. I did not feel like it was a bad experience. Like it was the easiest procedure I've ever had done because I just was on so many meds I couldn't feel stressed. So then after that, the goal of the celiac plexus block, the goal of the celiac plexus block, Jesus, is to reduce pain. So I'm supposed to not have pain. I go and eat a meal. Pain's the same, right? I continue to eat. Nothing changes. Literally nothing. And I'm like, this ain't doing shit. But it can work later on. So I'm just like, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. I couldn't really stand, which was not super surprising because I have blood pressure issues and it can make your blood pressure drop. So that wasn't super surprising, but we tried to go home, to drive home. I'm getting really stressed, so if you can hear in my voice and stuff, sorry. This is like the traumatic part. Long story short, I feel like shit. We go to the hospital, we're like, what the fuck? And they're like, and so whole thing, have a whole medical like situation that I don't want to talk about. Anyway, I go to the ER, they're like, it's nerve pain. Which we're like, no shit. And they're like, well, we can't do anything. And they're like, well, you can have an Ativan to get you home. Which is when we figure out that I can't have Ativan because I see shit. It's not a fun time. I'm swearing so much. Anyway, we go home. My pain is worse. It has never gotten better, but it's just so bad. And we keep messaging them and we're like, well, what do you do? And they're like, we should do another block. And obviously, I'm like, this is the worst thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I'm like, what are you gonna do to make sure this doesn't happen? And they're like, and then eventually we had a doctor to say, yeah, we don't want you to do this again. If you need a plan of action and like pain meds to get through this, we don't want to do that. So they refer me to the GI and the pain clinic. So what happened with the pain clinic is they referred me to this weird program. I'm not gonna overly talk about it because I don't really want you guys to know where I go to the doctor. But yeah, it seemed really bad and not for me at all. So they did refer me to the pain clinic, a different part of it. They put me with the crazy guy who told me, who was not comforting and freaked me out about the Celiac Plexus Block and did not seem to know his shit. So that, I will not be going to that appointment. That is not happening. If they want to put me with a different person, go for it. I will never speak to that man again. And then their GI, I'm on the waiting list. So that is, yeah. I might get a second opinion from MALS, but also since I have the celiac plexus block fail, I'm not a good candidate for surgery. And we obviously don't want to put me through surgery that probably won't do anything. So yeah, and a huge part of this is that I should have been born 50 years in the future. There just isn't a lot known about MALS, like, and that's really hard. Like, it's not super fun when you just have to wait for them to figure out treatment, because there's one treatment, and that's just not helpful. Like, if I can't have that one treatment, it's not good. Luckily I have a lot of other issues that I can hopefully figure out. And I think I'll make a second video and I'll go over what my current thing, what I'm currently doing. And yeah, I will make a video on that.